welcome back to another video. Today we have the ultimate pile, Fluffal, PK, Orcust, everything you need. And the deck unironically works well. So the main aim of this deck is just to about toy vendor, broken card, draws cards, discards cards, does everything you need. And you just fill up your graveyard with all your Orcusts and PKs, and you also run a bunch of dangers to help that process too. So we're going to go first. I'll just show what this deck can really do. We're going to activate Push Burial Goods, sending Toy Vendor. We'll use the effect of Toy Vendor, searching a copy of Fluffal Wings. This card's broken. It says draw 2 cards, search a card from your deck. Like, that's literally what it says. The card is just absolutely absurd, especially in this deck where you are really good in having where you really do need the hand fodder. We're going to use wings, banish some stuff, we're going to draw 2, and then we're going to search one. See, we filled our entire hand already. And then we're going to use Toy Vendor. We're going to normal some Dolphin. Dolphin is able to recover one of our other Toy Vendors. And we're able to dump Etchum Sabers. Right here I did a misclick. I accidentally put back the Orcust Nightmare instead of my Fluffal Wings. The reason why I didn't want to put back my, the reason why I want to keep the wings in my hand is so that I could special summon Orcust Nightmare from my hand and I would have an extra body that way. But you know, misclicks happen, the board is still pretty strong. So the Nightmare happens to go. We're going to go and use second Toy Vendor, discarding a Jackalope, sending a Mothman. And now Mothman's effect will also activate. We draw a card, and discard card, we're going to be discarding the wings. And he discards Fire King, because we're up against Fire Kings. Use the effect of Orcust Nightmare, dumping a World 1. We're going to use the effect of World 1, summoning back the Orcust Nightmare. We're going to go into Galatea. Galatea will shuffle back a card. We're going to go in, set a Babel. And if I hadn't done that misclick earlier, I would have been able to go into Dingirsu by using Nightmare's effect in the graveyard to send a Symbol Skeleton. And then we can revive it, go into Dingirsu and do stuff from there. And then, you know, attach material, normal Orcust stuff. But since I did not have access to that Dingirsu, I am a bit handicapped here. We're going to go ahead and do some Phantom Knight stuff now, using the Break Sword into Bardiche and all that. And then we can go into Evil Swarm Nightmare. So this end board right here would have had 1 extra interruption. But just to remind you, we had 1 negate, 2 just Book of Moons, basically just Book of Moons on wheels, and then during our next turn we can do lots of stuff there too. So he's going to use Onslaught Fire King, I believe, just to summon something from the deck. And then he's going to, that thing is a big beat stick and can attack with our Nightmare, so I just decided to flip it down. We're going to go ahead and use the Symbol Skeleton, summoning back to Galatea. Galatea's effect will shuffle back Skeleton in order to get Orcust Crescendo for next turn. He's going to activate Fire King Island, basically a Dragonic Diagram. He's going to normal summon that extra Fire King. We allowed that card to resolve, and then I'm just going to put that card face down once again. He has the Counter Trap. When he tried to activate the effect of something, I just attempted to negate it, but he negates it again. And he activates the effect of Fire Avatar Garunix. It can summon itself doing standby phase, and it blows up the field when it's summoned, so I decided to just negate it. Now we can go into Dingirsu. Rusty will pop that extra thing. Probably should have popped Fire King Island. Now that I read it, it says that it just destroys every single monster you control when it is sent from the field stone to the graveyard. But anyways, I'm going to get the Nightmare back. We will go ahead, activate wings, you know, draw 2, search 1. And just like how we refilled our hand again, and we also have Fluffal Penguin to normal summon, special summon extra cards, and we can very easily OTK from here. Like, I'm not even joking, I can definitely get, like, after at least 3 extra interruptions again. And that's what the deck does. It can put up some very fierce going first boards, and can definitely play the really good. It can play a really good grind game too. So that is kind of just a showcase of what the deck's capabilities are. Once again, unfortunately, misclick happened. I would have had I would have actually had 2 extra pops, because I would summon Dingirsu to Rusty's zone, and then Rusty will be able to pop a card, and then Dingirsu is also able to pop a card. Honestly, Rusty just had to pop Fire King Island, and then I could attach one of my machines. So that is kind of it for the replay. Let us go to the deck profile. Right here we have the 60 card pile. I kind of split it into first the Fluffal stuff. It's kind of the main portion of deck. Some dangers, Orcust, and then PKs. So let's get to it. First up, we have triple Fluffal Dog. It's Stratos for the deck. Why would you not run it? Triple Fluffal Penguin. Penguin is able to summon extra Fluffals from hand, but you're usually actually going to use its effect to draw 2 cards and discard a card when it's used as fusion material, since you, as I said, you want to keep cards in your hand and continuously send them to the graveyard too. So its effect to summon cards from hand isn't really that useful. I mean, it's not that it's not useful. It just doesn't come up as much. Fluffal Dolphin, broken card. I mean, it's not broken. You really only want to run this at 1, because if you already use your normal summon for like a dog or a penguin or a torn scale, then you don't want a you don't really want to normal summon it unless you're hard searching it off a toy vendor, because its effect also needs graveyard. It also needs you to just stack your graveyard, which is why I'm just running at 1. A triple Edgem Chain. This card search is a pot of greed. Why would you not run it? Triple Fluffal Bear. Fluffal Bear is able to get you straight to Toy Vendor, and Toy Vendor is really where you want to be sitting at. Edgem Sabers. Edgem Saber is not only a level 2 extender for your PK plays, it's also just a really good extender in general in the graveyard, which helps you generate extra advantage. Next up, we have the Fluffal Wings. Wings is draw 2, search 1, so why would you not run it? It's also really easy to get in the graveyard with dangers and Toy Vendor. Fright for Fusion. Fright for Fusion is a Miracle Fusion for the deck, which is really helpful because it gets you free level 9 for VFD, which you can very unironically make in this deck. Triple Polymerization. Normal Polymerization, because, you know, normal polymerization is good. It's also really useful in fusing your Fluffal Penguin, so you want that. Fright for Patchwork. Patchwork is part of Greed. It searches an Edgimp and a copy of Polymerization. So if you haven't already used Edgimp Chain's effect, you can search Polymerization, Edgimp Chain, and fuse it with any of your other Fluffals. You go into your Frightful Whale. Edgimp Chain searches Fright for Fusion. You activate Fusion, go into another Frightful Whale, and then go into VFD. It's a 1.5 card combo, which is it's pretty inconsistent in a 60 card deck, but it still is really good. Triple Fright for Bear, not Fright for Fluffal, sorry, triple Foolish Burial Goods. The reason why I run this is because it just sends Toy Vendor directly to graveyard, and Toy Vendor is basically a search in the graveyard. And what this card does is you discard a card and then you draw a card. If it's a Fluffal, you summon any monster in your hand, and if it's not a Fluffal, you discard the card you just drew. So it can stack your graveyard, it's able to draw cards, it does everything you need, on top of searching in the graveyard. For Danger Portion, 1 Nessie, triple Mothman, 1 Snack, 1 Jackalope, pretty self-explanatory. For Orcust Portion, we have 2 World Wand, triple Nightmare, 1 Skeleton, 1 Brass Bombard. This is also pretty self-explanatory. You really just want to get Orcust on the field so that you can go into Galatea. We have the Foolish Burial just to dump anything you might need, maybe Wings, maybe a Nightmare, maybe an Ancient Cloak or Boots, just really anything you need. Orchestrated Babble just helps you get plays going on your opponent's turn and helps you get extra setup. Orcust Crescendo, just it's a non-negate for free. We have the 1 Ragged Gloves. Ragged Gloves is able to act as any of your other Phantom Knight monsters in graveyard, so that's why we run it. Ancient Cloak is basically just search 1 in the graveyard, so you're usually searching Boots as an extra extender, which is cool. Torn Scale, if you're able to get this in the graveyard, as soon as you make Rusty, you are able to just revive it, and then usually with Rusty you're dumping Ancient Cloak banishes itself, searching Boots, Scale summons itself, Boots summons itself from the hands that you control a Phantom Knight, overlay into Breaksword, Rusty pops Breaksword, then go into Evil Swarm Nightmare. You instantly have 2 disruptions. We have the Phantom Knights of Shadebring Dean. Shadebring Dean is another really good level 4 extender in case you need the extra extender from either a Cloak or a Boots in order to go into something like Galatea. We also run Link Spider, so that's an effect monster for Galatea. Triple Fogblade. Fogblade is really good, just extra monster negate, so why would you not want to run it? That's it for main deck. For extra deck we run double Fright for Cruel Whale. Cruel Whale is Cruel Whale is just a level 9, like that's all it does. It's just level 9 for VFD. Right for Kraken is the actual disruption for, well, it's not disruption, but it does definitely help in being able to send card 0-point controls to the graveyard with its effect. You have the 1 copy of VFD, very fun, just very fun to have in your deck. Dingirsu is able to send a card 0-point controls to graveyard, or you can just recur some of your banished machine monsters, which is really good. Evil Storm Nightmare is a Book of Moon. Break Sword is not only it's not only a piece of interaction, but it's also able to just float into 2 Phantom Knights, which is really strong. Appaloosa for negates in case you haven't gone into your Orcust stuff. Langirsu is another just free send. I'm pretty sure this also outs Dragoon. Like, this deck can very easily out Dragoon simply because of Dingirsu and Langirsu. Rusty Bardiche is Bardiche. We can't really argue with the man himself. Popping cards, setting cards, dumping cards, does everything you want. Galatea is able to recur. It can not only recur your machines, but it's also able to set Orcust spell traps. So you're usually setting cards like Orchestrate Climax or Babel. Cross Sheep is it's a free summon from the graveyard if you're able to get access to your Fright Furs, which is really good. Link Spider for the Shadebrain Dean, and finally the Salmon Grade Owl Mirage. In case you just need a normal summon and send something to the graveyard, like it turns every single one of your Phantom Knights into a 1-card Cross Sheep in case you need that. It's able to, like, if you need wings in the graveyard, then you can just do that if you don't have any way to get into the graveyard. Otherwise, it just does a lot of stuff. Just being in the extra deck, it can definitely be pretty helpful. So that is the deck. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It really does help the channel, and I'll be seeing you next time. Goodbye.